Hello, welcome to Bob's Dungeon. My name's Bob. I'll be your host. I think in this video I'm going to start off by asking you, the viewer, a few questions. Do you like zombies? Do you like martial arts? Do you like role-playing games? If you answered yes to all three of these questions, then boy do I have a book for you. We're going to take a look at Enter the Zombie for the All Flesh Must Be Eaten role-playing game. This book has 165 pages and a copyright of 2002. It was published by Eden Studios, and all of the artwork in this book is in black and white. It's pretty decent, so let's go ahead and look at that artwork. This is the first picture we see when we open the book, and it might just be a black and white take of the cover of the book, but it's still pretty cool. All of the artwork in this book is in black and white. And for the most part, it's pretty decent, with some of the pictures coming off looking a little bit comic bookish. But all in all, the artwork goes a long way to setting a proper tone and mood for this book. Oh look, it's Lopan. Hi, David. To play this game, what you're going to need is, of course, a copy of this book and a copy of the core rule book for All Flesh Must Be Eaten. You also need a 10-sided die. And that's pretty much it. There are some new weapons in here that you can add to your game, and each of them have a different die to be rolled for damage, or you can use the diceless method of rolling damage. Either way, if you use the first method, then you'll need, of course, a 4-sided die, a 6-sided die, an 8-sided die, 10-sided die, and a 12-sided die to resolve some of the damage. But otherwise, all you need is the 10-sided dice. This book has a lot in it. The first thing that you encounter in this book is you encounter two new character types that you can add to your All Flesh Must Be Eaten game. Usually the All Flesh Must Be Eaten game has the normal character type, the inspired character type, and the survivor character type. This book adds two more. It adds the martial artist and the shooter. And both of these classes get access to what's known as chi powers. And the martial artist gets special moves and powers to perform with his martial arts skills. And the shooter can do all kinds of neat stuff with his guns. And it's pretty neat. This book also has rules for creating and playing an actual zombie player character. It tells you what all you need to do for that and how many points you get to spend in character creation. And after that, you earn experience and raise your stuff like a normal character, which is pretty nifty. But the main attraction to this game is that it gives you 4 new worlds in hell. What that means is in the core book for All Flesh Must Be Eaten, it gives you several scenarios that you could play out with your All Flesh Must Be Eaten game. And each one of them is referred to as a world in hell. And those are like campaign settings, story settings, and so forth. And this gives you 4 new ones based on a kind of a martial arts theme. And those settings for this game are Hard-Boiled Corpses, which is basically a look at the underworld in Hong Kong, smuggling drugs, and you uncover that zombies are popping up everywhere. And just like that, my cat Rumble has magically appeared to show himself in this video. But we will move on to the next story in this book. The next setting is called Flesh Eaters and Little China. And the story is exactly how the name implies it. It is basically the movie Big Trouble in Little China with a lot more zombies thrown in, which you can never go wrong there. So that's pretty cool. After that, there's a story called Once Upon a Corpse in China. And It's basically set up to bring the feeling of the old action kung fu movies that were popular in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So you got rival houses, and they're all trying to prove that their technique is the best. Whether that technique is being practiced by a living being or a dead being, they don't care as long as they can prove that their technique is best. And the fourth and final story that you could run from this book is for all you video game players out there. It's called Undead Combat. And yes, it is what the name implies. It's basically Mortal Kombat with, again, a lot more zombies added. Players are brought into a tournament to fight for their realm, yada yada yada. If they die, they become undead opponents for others to fight. So there's that. And that's pretty much your lot. There's a blank character sheet in the back that you can photocopy, and there's a sheet so that you can keep track of ammunition as a shooter in the back. And that's pretty much it. There's some advertisements in the back for some of the other games that that Eden Studio put out. And that's pretty much it. Brings me to 3 questions. Would I play a character in a scenario taken from this book? And absolutely, I love the movie Big Trouble in Little China, so I definitely have fun in that. And I would definitely try and capitalize on using the zombie as a player character rules that are in this book. Would I run a game using the information in this book? Once again, I'm going to have to say yes. I like zombies. I like watching kung fu movies. And there you go. It would be fun for me. Would I recommend this book? If you answered yes to the 3 questions I asked at the beginning of this video, then this is definitely a book you need to check out. And it's got a little something for everybody in here. And the settings in it are just pretty cool. And I would highly recommend it if you're playing All Flesh Must Be Eaten. And that's pretty much all I got to say for Enter the Zombie. Thank you for joining me and Rumble at a look at this game. And hopefully you'll join us next time where we'll talk about something else. Bye.